Welcome to a journey that will plunge you into the depths of terror. Tonight, we dive into unsettling, spine-chilling tales of fear that no one should face alone. These are not just stories. They are real, raw accounts that will leave you questioning what's lurking in the shadows of your own life. You've been warned. Do not watch alone. From the unexplained to the outright horrifying, tonight's video is packed with terrifying footage that will haunt your dreams. So, sit back, turn off the lights, and brace yourself. Because once you enter, there's no turning back. A few months ago, in a decaying apartment building hidden in the corners of Japan, an elderly man lived in solitude. With no living relatives and no one to care for him, the man, whom we'll call Mr. A, spent his days alone in silence. But that silence was shattered when something unimaginable began to happen. Mr. A started acting strangely. At first, his landlord thought it was just old age catching up with him. But then, the complaints came, disturbing ones. Mr. A was adamant that a strange woman had entered his apartment, a woman who was trying to take his life. The landlord, concerned for his mental well-being, suggested a visit to a doctor, but Mr. A refused. Instead, he made a chilling vow. He would gather proof of what he was experiencing, proof that could not be dismissed. What happened next would shock everyone. Tragically, a few days later, Mr. A took his own life. But the horrors didn't end there. His landlord, in an attempt to understand what happened, entered Mr. A's apartment and discovered something that would haunt him forever. Among the old belongings, he found several videotapes recorded on an ancient camera. Curious, he watched them, and what he saw sent an icy chill through his bones. This was the footage Mr. A had left behind, recorded just one day before his tragic death. What Mr. A witnessed on those tapes, you won't believe it. But be warned, once you see it, you may never be able to forget it. A bizarre distorted figure can be seen in the reflection of the dresser mirror, and the landlord now wonders if Mr. A truly did experience something paranormal inside his apartment. The landlord contacts the Japanese ghost hunting team. Oki and paranormal investigator Hiro sets out on a solo overnight investigation into the allegedly haunted apartment. Eventually, Hiro finds the room that can be seen on the disturbing videotapes. The investigator finds the dresser seen in the old camera footage, but the mirror is gone a few hours later and Hiro finally finds the missing mirror. What happens next is downright creepy. As Hiro carefully cuts the zip ties and begins to unwrap the mirror, a sudden ring of the apartment doorbell breaks the silence. When he opens the door, there's no one there. But did you notice it? Hiro, completely unaware of what's happening around him, continues to unpack the mirror. But as he works, a shadowy figure watches him from the hallway. And that figure, it looks exactly like the terrifying entity from Mr. A's grainy home video. In a desperate attempt to capture anything unusual, Hiro begins using Mr. A's old camera, hoping to document something similar to what Mr. A recorded the day before his death. But what happens next will leave you frozen in fear. Stay with us, because what Hiro uncovers next will be something you can never unsee. While searching through the apartment, Hiro finds another tape discarded in the trash. But again, did you see it? When the footage is slowed down for just a few frames, two small pale hands can be seen pressed against the floor right next to Hiro. He doesn't even notice, still completely unaware of the entity that appears to be watching and following him. Hiro decides to watch the tape he recovered from the trash, and what he sees makes his blood run cold. The camera spins around by itself, and then, just as chillingly, an eerie, distorted face appears, peeking out from the very bottom of a doorway. The sight is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. Disturbed by what he's seen, Hiro decides to leave. He thinks he hasn't captured any proof that Mr. A's apartment is haunted. But when he reviews his footage later, he realizes something terrifying. The entire time he was in the apartment, the same entity had been watching him. And that's where we leave you, with more questions than answers. The line between the living and the supernatural is thinner than we think. And sometimes, the things we can't see are the most terrifying. What did Hero truly capture on that old camera? Was it all in his mind, or was something far darker following him the whole time? Remember, some doors are better left unopened, and some stories are meant to remain untold. If you enjoyed this chilling journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because you never know when the next nightmare will be waiting for you. Don't watch alone. And as always, keep your lights on. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows. Until next time, stay safe.